Happy blue. Hey y'all, I am live. I decided to go live a little earlier because I know it's late. Hey Ellie, you the first one up in here. What's up? Hey Abu, how you doing? Hey Tara, how you doing? Thanks for joining me such at such a late time. But sometimes I like to do things late at night. I'm a Sagittarius. We're night owls. But the older I get, the more I'm realizing that I'm not as much of a night owl as I used to be, which is kind of sad because the nighttime is the right time. You know, the nighttime is the right time. Makes me think of that Cosby Show episode. Rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. I don't think I went live since he passed, did I? Yeah, I don't think I did. Yeah, that was sad learning about that. Oh man, that tore me up inside. Hey, Pluto Mars. Oh, good, Abu. Yes, it's already Saturday where you're at, huh? Because you're talking about tomorrow. So, yes, that brings me to, and I'm going to mention this a few times tonight about this workshop. It's like a workshop slash lecture slash collection of readings that I'm going to be doing about the dark side of Leo, in particular, narcissism, because narcissism is one of the traits of a dark-sided Leo. Now, sure, any sign can be a narcissist, but when we're talking about like narcissism in the purest form, you have basically two signs that can produce like extreme forms of narcissism. Narcissism. That would be Leo and Aries. Hey, Alex, thanks for joining me. Hey, Dr. Ken, thanks for joining me. Hey, Catherine. All right, so before I get into tonight's topic, oh, I got to set up this live stream. Hold on. I hope everyone is enjoying their summer so far. Type in the chat what you've been doing this summer. Like, have you went on vacation? Have you spent time at the beach or at the lake or at a river? Have you been going to any festivals? Let me know while I set up this live stream how y'all been spending your summer so far. Is it real hot where you're at? Has it been storming a lot? We really haven't gotten any rain here, but that's normal because I'm in Arizona. It's pretty dry here. Oh, it's too hot, baby. Gotta run for shelter, gotta run for shade. A lot of y'all don't know about that song because that song is from way back in the day. That's Cool in the Gang. It's too hot. So summertime as a kid, I used to love. Oh wait, that's wrong. Damn, I always do that to myself. Summertime as a kid, I used to love when that song would play on the radio. Oh, it's too hot, too hot, baby. Gotta run for shelter, gotta run for shade. It's too hot, too hot, baby. Gotta cool this thing, girl. What a mess that we made so long ago. You were my love, oh my love. Bam, 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 bam. Cool in the Gang was one of the coolest bands. Like, they really deserve that name. All right, so I'm just setting up this live stream real quick. What's another song, summer song? That's what we could do right now too while I'm setting up this live stream. What songs remind you of summertime? Of course, we got Summer, Summer, Summertime by Will Smith. Summertime, I just sit back and unwind. Summer, summer, summertime, summertime. And then I love Cruel Summer by Bananarama. It's a cruel, cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel, cruel summer. Now you're gone. And then what's that other one I like? Summertime in the LBC. Ooh, summertime in the LBC. I ride with her, I slide with her. Lokes and Doe from the LBC. I love that song. On the fighters, low riders, and east siders. Y'all don't know about that song. All come around to hear the Dove Shack G funk sound. All come around. Dr. King, you know about that. To kick it in our town. That's the shit. Yes. So somebody said Summer Madness. Yes, that's by Cool and the Gang too. Dr. Ken, yes. Somebody said begging. And then what's the one Childish Gambino put out not too long ago? It feels like summer. It feels like summer. That's my shit too. All right, let's see what y'all been doing this summer. We might not have a lot of people here tonight because it is real late, but I just want to thank everybody for joining me so late. So Nate said, "Yeah, it's so hot in LA. It's too hot." Oh, what about Nelly? It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes off. It's getting hot in here, so hot. So take off all your clothes. Nate said Katy Perry's old songs feel summery. Mm-mm. I never really got into Katy Perry's music, but I didn't mind that song where she was like, "You're an alien." And then the other one, oh, I think the Dark Horse. Living with a dark horse. I didn't know she had a kid. When I found out, I was kind of horrified. I was like, she's a mother. But these mothers are a different breed nowadays. These modern day mothers. Who was I thinking about today about her being a mother? And I was like, that's kind of, oh, she's one of the people that I'm going to be talking about tonight. So as you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about Juno and Aquarius. So this is a sponsored video, and I'm looking for the sponsor. I don't see her in the chat. She might have went to sleep. But I told her I'd be going live, but I didn't tell her how late I'd be going live. But better late than never, right? Never too much, never too much, never too much, never too much. Can't fool myself, don't want nobody else ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy. There's not a minute, day or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list, cause I'm always dreaming of you. Y'all don't know about that either. No, I know y'all. I know a lot of y'all know that song. Never Too Much, Luther Vandross. For some reason, when I be putting on Luther songs, I do, oh, thong song. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that dress is scandalous. Can't handle this. Who's ish? So devilish. Hip hop spots. Connect the dots. Sing La Vida Loca. She had jumped in a boom, boom. I was like, what? What? Baby, you, but. I think I say it again. Did I tell you I met Drew Hill back in the day? Yes, I did. I was chilling with them for a night. She had thumbs like a truck. I was like, what? All night long. Let me see that thong. Da 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 be. Oh, and you got Juno and Aquarius. Okay. So some of what I'm saying could apply to you. Speaking of Ricky Martin, Ellie, I heard some tea about Ricky Martin back in the day. He was chilling with Whitney and Bobby, and they went to what's his face? Who's that guy? I forget what that guy's name is. He's that big fat Italian guy. But he used to deal coke back in the day, and he was saying one time Whitney came and she wanted like 2 ounces of coke. and he sold it to her. And then he came out the car, like he walked her out to the car, and he said he saw Bobby and Ricky Martin chilling in the back seat of their limo. And I was like, wow, Ricky Martin was getting down with the powder like that. Okay. Then it made me think, I was like, was they like in doing threesomes with Ricky Martin? I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Bobby is an Aquarius. But I'm not here to bash Whitney tonight. You know, she a Leo. It's her season. Rest in peace, Whitney. Yup. He said 2 ounces. His name is Joey Diaz, I think. He be doing interviews like on Joe Rogan with Joe Rogan and some other people. But I think that's his name, Italian guy. I think he was in The Sopranos or something. But yeah, big mafioso type of dude. But yeah, hey Helen. But they said that he sold some powder to Whitney, a lot of powder, and Ricky Martin was chilling with them. She was living La Vida Loca. He was living La Vida Loca. Dr. Ken said that sounds fun. Oh, I inside out, living La Vida Loca. All right, before I get into this preliminary shit, I want to know, you know, Jennifer Lopez, she's been getting a lot of flack since it's Leo season, but I'm going to do a live stream for Leo season next week. But speaking of Leo, Jennifer Lopez has been getting a lot of flack over the past several years. And sometimes I be feeling kind of sorry for her, but then again, she's brought a lot of this on herself because she is very egotistical and she just act like she's just a shit. But damn, I just forgot what I was gonna say about. Oh yeah, I just want to know what is your favorite song by Jennifer Lopez? I would say mine is Get Right. That's the only really song I could tolerate from her, and that's because of the beat. But even that gets tiring. I always said J Lo ain't who she thinks she is. Body, yaddy, yaddy, yah. Tell me you remember dancing in September. Body, yah. It's not September yet, but it's gonna be here before you know it. Ba-doom, ba. Okay. Dr. Ken said waiting for tonight. Mayoshi said waiting for tonight. Waiting for tonight. Oh. Tara said Jenny from the block. I forgot about Jenny from the block. I'm just Jenny from the block. Dr. Ken said feeling so good with Big Pun and Fat Joe. Oh, that song was pretty good. That was pretty good. Wait a minute, what is going on here? That's weird. Okay. Let me share my screen because I got some announcements and current events to discuss before we get into this live stream. This is your night tonight. Everything's gonna be all right. This is your night tonight. Everything's gonna be all right. They don't make songs like they used to, like songs that really got you up out of your seat, got you on the dance floor. Those days are over pretty much. I feel like maybe like 2000, the 2010s, that was the last of it pretty much. But even then, shit was getting whacked. This is our night tonight. Everything's gonna be all right. And they don't be celebrating the ladies like they used to in music. Like the song, oh yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Okay. All right. I'm gonna wait for this to pop up on my screen. Dr. Kim said, ain't it funny with Ja Rule? Cause I'm real. the way you walk, the way you talk. 'Cause I'm real. You know, this AI shit is getting out of hand. I clicked the off button on my phone on accident, and then the AI prompt popped up, and then it just typed in the words "I'm real" that I was just singing, and it was about to search. I was like, wow, okay, I'm not feeling this AI stuff. And can't go on without you or something. Okay, so I see it on my phone. All right, so announcements and current events. All right, so on Sunday, I'll be hosting this workshop. It's like a workshop, but it's more like a lecture slash collection of readings that I'm going to be doing about the dark side of Leo, in particular narcissism. Now, I'm going to be talking about one person in particular, and this person comes highly requested. Over the past few years, people have been coming to me asking me to do a reading about this person. And I've been wanting to do a reading about this person for so long, but I've been hesitant. Hey, Aquarian Essence, thanks for becoming a diggable planet. What's up? You cool like that? But yeah, I've been wanting to do a reading about this person for quite some time, but it just wasn't the right time. And it's a sensitive topic, so I don't feel comfortable doing it on YouTube. So I was like, why don't I just make it into a workshop? So for those that have been requesting this particular video, this is your chance to get in on it because I'm going to be going in. And like I said, I can't even like mention it right now about who this person is, who it's about or whatever like that. But I'll also be getting into other narcissists too. But I feel like this one situation, shh, Dr. Kid, don't say that. This one situation is long overdue, and this person is a hot topic right now. So I posted the link to the Eventbrite site where you could purchase a ticket to the workshop. It is on short notice because I just posted it this week, the notification. But yeah, if you got some time on Sunday evening, definitely want to check out this workshop because it's going to be very insightful, especially if you're very much interested in the topic of narcissism. So join me for another stellar workshop. You know, I love to delve into the dark side of the zodiac, and this workshop is going to be not for the faint of heart. So I'm going to be going in. So, and it's not even about, oh, all Leos are like this. Like I said, this is all about the dark side of Leos and narcissists in particular. So on my Eventbrite, it says lots of repeat customers. That just will let you know that people really enjoy my workshops. So the workshop will be held on Sunday, this Sunday, August 10th, between 4 and 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That would be what, 7 and 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I believe 3 to, no, 5 to 8 Pacific, or you'll see when you get on the website. But that's set to my time. That's why I say that. So this is going to be held online via Zoom conferencing. So again, click the link in the description section to purchase your tickets. There's only 2 days left to purchase your tickets for this workshop. Because like I said, I'm going to be going in and I'm not showing no mercy. Because this person, like I said, this shit is long overdue. So join me this Sunday, August 10th, for another online workshop. This one is dedicated to Leo, the dark side of Leo, that is. Narcissism is often the product of dark-sided Leo individuals. During this lecture, I will be reading the charts of a few well-known Leo narcissists. One of these individuals is so toxic that I cannot discuss them on social media platforms. All right, enough about that. And I will be posting another just advertisement for the workshop. I might post it a couple of times tomorrow, which is Saturday, where I'm at. Now, like I said, I'm going to be going live for Leo season next week. probably either Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. So, if you have a Leo story to share, a story about a Leo, the juicier the story, the better. It could be a story about a Leo ex or a Leo family member or whatever. You don't have to give your name or nothing. You could be anonymous. Please consider joining me via Zoom. I already have one person lined up that wants to share her story. It's a blind date story about a Leo. So I'm hoping that she'll be available when I go live next week. But yeah, send me an email if you want to join this live stream next week for Leo season because I would love for people to share their stories about Leo. Damn, I forgot I posted this image. This man, he packing. All right. Video sponsorships. So, like I said, tonight's video is a sponsored video, and my list of video sponsorships is starting to whittle away, which is good. So I have room for more video sponsorships. So if you would like to sponsor a video, it could be on anything. It could be about an aspect in your chart or a placement in your chart, such as like if you got Mars and Scorpio in the seventh house and you want me to discuss that, I could do that. It could be about a celebrity. It could be about a story in the news, like dealing with some true crime situation or whatever that you want me to explore. Like for instance, someone recently purchased, sponsored a video dealing with a major catastrophe that I'll be doing probably by the end of the month or next month, early next month. So yeah, if you would like to sponsor a video, just send me an email, write video sponsorship on the subject line. And follow me on Instagram. Now, I'm not big on social media, right? But I'm trying to get better at that. So, the more followers I have, the more feedback I get, the more likes I get, the more I get motivated to post more. And on Instagram, you'll see more of inside view of just my life, basically. But also, I'll post, just things, funny memes and little video clips and stuff like that dealing with astrology. I'll start posting more of that once I, start to see more traffic on my page, start to see more people following me and all that. So take a picture of that QR code, it'll bring you right to my Instagram if you want to follow me. All right, and then before I get into tonight's topic, no, before I get into a current event, I just got one question for y'all dealing with Leo. And I'll have some more polls for Leo season next week. So, is Leo trustworthy? If you believe so, press one. If you believe Leo is trustworthy, if you don't believe Leo is trustworthy, and this is just in general, press two. So press one if you believe Leo is trustworthy, press two if you don't believe they are. So Catherine said two, Tara said one, Abu said one. And y'all can state your reasons why you're answering in this way. Anybody else? Dr. Ken two, Ellie said one. And he said one. The reason why I'm asking is I've heard quite a bit of people talk about Leos being liars. So that's why I'm asking, what do you think? Do you think Leos are trustworthy or not? Aquarian Essence says depends on the Leo. Alex said, in my experience, depends on the Leo. And then, some people like to break the signs down per the month. Some will be like, well, those July Leos, they're cool, but the August Leos you can't trust. I've never been a believer in like breaking it down by the month in terms of like who's gonna be presenting more of the dark traits. Catherine said, Yup, they are liars too. Catherine said, No, they would think of themselves first and nothing wrong with that. Ellie said, Leo is genuine. Fire signs usually are very straightforward. Yes, I heard of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Isn't she the one that killed her mom or something? The arrow said they too. Two, they side with the winner. There's generally a reason. Catherine said they lie to impress you, not to hurt you. So yeah, that's interesting. All right, next. So just one current event that I'm just going to discuss real quick. People have been speculating that Deion Sanders, who's a Leo, is dating Karrueche Tran. And people are kind of up in arms because there's a significant age difference between the two of them. But when you see their birth dates and look at their charts, it's really easy to see why she basically is dating Deion Sanders. Now, I don't know if they came out and officially said that they are dating, but they probably are because she was at his doctor's appointment. He was getting something done with, what was it, his bladder or something like that. He was getting his bladder removed. Was it? Please, please refresh my memory. Was he getting his bladder removed? And then I was like, okay, if you get your bladder removed, how do you like? Do you get like a prosthetic bag? Yeah, exactly, Ellie. She's a grown woman. Yeah. I don't know a lot about this Karrueche Tran. Who was she associated with prior to Deion Sanders? I know she was probably dating somebody famous. Was it Chris Brown? Okay, yes, he had bladder cancer. So yes, she was with him at his doctor's appointment and she had posted on social media. And that's how basically they let the cat out the bag. So Ellie said they put a bag that collects the urine. Okay. So okay, thanks, Alex. So Chris Brown was dating Karrueche Tran. Do they have a child together? Alex, you said Chris Brown is her most famous. Okay. Is she a singer or something? Again, I don't know much about this woman. Real tissue. It's not, and it's his tissue, which means there's less of a chance his body will reject it. So that's good. I think Dion is a pretty decent dude. His ego is like overblown, I feel like, but I think he's a pretty decent dude. I don't think he's on the dark side. And him being a Leo, Leo like him young. So I'm not surprised. And he's a nine. He was born on August 9th. And that nine combined with Leo really makes him feel young and makes him want to really try to stay young. So I know him going through these health problems is really messing him up. And he got a stellium in Virgo, so I'm not surprised he's going through these serious health problems. Now, the main thing between these two, well, Karrueche, she's a Taurus, so I'm not surprised she, being with Deion because Deion got a lot of money. And I don't know, how much money she's making on her own. And she's a 17 birth number. Those 17s can be on the gold digging end. And I'm not even going to call her a gold digger, but you know what I mean. I would say she's definitely with him for the money. She got Sun in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus. Now she would probably say that they're just friends because she got Mars in Aquarius. She'd be like, "Oh, that's just my good friend," knowing good and well they're smashing and grabbing. Now Deion Sanders, he has that Sun conjunct Jupiter in Leo. That makes it for an excellent athlete. It really does. And then that Venus conjunct Pluto in Virgo, that's him being a coach. Oh, and him being called Prime, Coach Prime, that's very much that nine birth number and his Aries energy. But the main takeaway from this is his Pluto is conjoined to her South Node. So her South Node is at the 19th degree of Virgo, and his Pluto is at the 19th degree of Virgo. So that can produce a very close bond that's based upon helping. So that can show where he's helping her in terms of finances, and she's helping him in terms of being a source of support through his health issues. So it's mutual. So I ain't mad at that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to get into with the preliminary stuff. So let's get into this Juno situation. Juno, no? All right, just 1 second. Juno, no. What you do to me? We got a small, intimate crowd tonight, just about 30 of us in here, which is nice. It's nice, especially for this topic. Okay. Juno in Aquarius. Hold on, what's going on here? Wait, I gotta switch this. Hold on. Give me a minute. All right, this should be. All right, let's get rid of that. I'm just gonna close this out because it's acting crazy. Is anybody married to a Leo in here? Okay, here we go. Hey, bad robot. So, Alex, you said you have Juno and Cancer in the ninth house. Okay, that's like some international love right there. All right, so Juno and Aquarius, a different kind of love, because that's what that Juno and Aquarius can represent. Now, Juno is an asteroid, it's one of the more popular asteroids that pertains to relationships, marriage, but not just relationships and marriage in general. It points to the challenges with the relationship, it points to the major bone of contention, it points to issues that are hard to resolve. It can even point to where someone could be exacting revenge upon you. It can point to where someone is keeping score. It can deal with not just love relationships, but partnerships of all kinds. But hey, me, but the most common for Juno is those love relationships. But I've seen Juno apply to business partnerships. I've seen it apply to friendships. I've seen it apply to other situations as well. Now, this video has been sponsored by Kawaii Honey. Thank you, Kawaii, for sponsoring yet another video. And Kawaii didn't provide any questions for Juno in particular, but she wanted me to look into her Juno. So, Kawaii's Juno is at the 25th degree of Aquarius. It's retrograde in the fourth house. Now, Juno in Aquarius at the 25th degree in particular, that 25th degree pertains to discrimination and analysis. So basically, what that means is you need to be very discriminating and analytical when it comes to potential mates. once you take your eye off of it, or once you stop paying a close attention, that's when you could be deceived. So a partner could be dishonest, deceptive, and a charlatan with that 25th degree. Just the 25th degree alone with Juno, it could be of any sign. But then the 25th degree of Aquarius in particular, that can represent a man that you meet online, or I'll just say potential mate, who is up to no good. So you got to really be careful. Oh, hey, Kauai, you joined us. Yes. Hey, Siobhan. So you really got to be careful about those individuals you meet online, including someone, and this is a true story I learned from experience, and this happened to be a Leo too. Oh my God, now I think about it. You know how sometimes you take a major L, and to even think about that shit, it really like, it's like a gut punch all over again. But anyway, even a guy that you went to school with, because a lot of guys like to get all up in your DMs, the ones you went to school with, and be like, remember me? I always had a crush on you and all that type of stuff. So meeting men online that are up to no good, that are faking the funk or making it seem like they're better than what they are, that is possible. So yeah, that happened to me one time. This dude contacted me on Facebook and he was like, I always had a crush on you. And I remembered him. He was in a grade younger than me. And he was cute. I do remember. And he was a Leo Aries rising with that moon and Aries in the 12th house. That was a red flag alone. And wait a minute, was it moon? Yeah, it was moon and Aries. And he had Venus in Cancer. Yup, bad, bad combination. And he played me for a fool. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm gonna be candid because I'm all about helping people to learn from my mistakes. You know what I mean? I'll just say this. He got me for $200, y'all. And back then, this was back what? Maybe 2009? Back then, 200 really was a lot back then. So yeah, this fool got me for $200. But I'm pretty sure he got some karma in return for that. Now, getting with fangirl energy, fantasy, imagination. So the fan is Aquarius, and then the fantasy imagination, that is that 25th degree. So you could be a fangirl for somebody, that's possible. And then getting with a man who's on the DL, that's possible as well with that 25th degree of Aquarius, especially because it's retrograde. Now, because Juno is retrograde, you might see things and then deny that it's actually what you see, if you get what I mean. So you might get with a guy and he got some effeminate traits. He's watching Sex in the City with you. He's watching, what's that new one? That's the sequel to Sex in the City. It's like that or something, or like just like that. He watching just like that with you. He watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. He know what time it come on before you do and shit, but you denying it. You basically acting like, oh, he just a sensitive man and shit. That retrograde Juno can cause you to be in denial. Now, before I move on, let me just read from this book about Juno. It's one of my favorite books on asteroids. It's called Mechanics of the Future Asteroids by Martha Lang Westcott. Now, there's not a lot of good books out there about asteroids. Maybe I might need to have to write one. But you said it just got canceled too. No way. And just like that, just got canceled? Just like that? What? I didn't even get a chance to look at it yet. I heard it sucked. Hey, Moonlight Orange. All right. So Martha Lane Westcott says about Juno. She says Juno represents the marriage partner and the relationship dynamic. The sign, house, and aspect pattern articulate the fears of what is or will go wrong with a relationship and what keeps one from feeling totally secure. The way that Juno is configured shows what cannot truly be accepted about the partner and what stands between the two and prevents the relationship from being utterly fulfilling. So Juno addresses the bone of contention. It's also part of the important dynamic that was learned from the relationship of the parents, and particularly the mother's role and attitude in that marriage. And that's so true. Like, trust and believe your parents have a lot to do with your choice of partner and the type of relationship you get in, because your parents are the first teacher about your relationships or just about relationships in general. Alex said they said the third season was terrible. Oh, I didn't know they had 3 seasons already. Case in point, let me give you an example what I mean about how your parents and their relationship will be echoed through your relationships. So, case in point, with growing up, before my parents got divorced, I always looked at my mother as the creator of the drama when they would fight. And I would end up feeling sorry for my father because my mom, they are both Aquarians. But you know how Aquarius can be a bully? My mom was more of the bully. My dad was more of the softy. And that's because he's an Aquarius with a Cancer moon. My mom got a Gemini moon. So, it was easier for her to play more of that rough type of Aquarian, where my dad, he was more on the softer end. So, yeah, when I would see my parents going at it, and usually it would be my mother that would start it, but I don't know, like my dad, I don't know, like I'm sure he was doing things to piss her off, like in a passive way. Not, he was never abusive or anything like that. He was like a big teddy bear. Well, he is like a big teddy bear. But anyway, I used to feel sorry for my dad. So when I started to get into relationships, I would get with men that I felt sorry for in some way, shape, or form. And that's my sun conjoined to Neptune. I would get with men that, somehow, some way they would have some damn sob story. And my dad, he had a sob story growing up and shit like that. So you see how your relationship with your parents, like their relationship, oftentimes will influence the type of relationships you get in. And I'm over that shit now, like getting with these men that I feel sorry for. Man, screw that, because it never works out. Because men, the way they're wired, you can't show a man too much sympathy or sensitivity or kindness. I'm learning, because they'll basically just take advantage of that. Can't be too nice to men. Now, Juno is the Roman goddess. The Greek counterpart is Hera, but basically they're one and the same. So Juno was the wife of Jupiter, Hera is the wife of Zeus. And basically the way the story goes was Jupiter, aka Zeus, was a big time whore. He was married to Hera, Juno, but he would cheat on her all the time. So Juno would start to do things to try to thwart his cheating and try to take revenge upon the women in particular that he was cheating with. And I think sometimes he was cheating on her with men too. He was just spreading himself around. And that is the essence of Jupiter. Jupiter goes big or goes home. Like Jupiter can be very whorish and promiscuous, and Jupiter can be hedonistic and can't get enough and just wide open with it and all that type of stuff. So Juno also comes with the peacock symbol. And think about the peacock. Like the peacock with these long, like colorful feathers, that's more so the male. The male peacock is the one that has this long plumage. Now, peacocks, they are representative of people who are very showy, who are very arrogant, who will like to strut their stuff. So I would say the peacock is not really representing Juno herself, but more so her man and how she's always on to the peacock schemes. All right, so here's some of the possible manifestations of Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. So, of course, we got to talk about entitlement. So, one of your complaints about your partner could be their sense of entitlement, but also understand that Juno can go both ways. So, you could have the sense of entitlement, and your partner might be trying to, always check you for your sense of entitlement. But just know that sense of entitlement will be one of the major themes. but a lot of times it will be your partner's sense of entitlement. Now, a partner expects to be totally unified with you on all fronts. So that's one of the themes of Aquarius, unification. And I like to call Aquarius the Three Musketeers sign, one for all for one. Ellie said, why are peacocks called peacocks? And the females are called something different. I forget what the female peacock is called. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Female peacock. Oh yeah, she's called a peahen. So she's not a peacock, she's a peahen. But wait a minute, do they have the long plumage like the male? I don't think so. I think only the males have the long plumage, as is shown in this picture. Let's see. But wait, they got one differences between the green and the blue pea. Okay, that's just showing a difference. Okay. Yes, they're called peafowl, and the females are called peahens, and the males are called peacocks. And it makes sense because the word cock. I love that word cock. All right. But a partner may expect you to be totally unified on all fronts. And that can be problematic because when you do disagree, it's a problem. When you don't want to do what they want to do, it's a problem. Also, a partner is cold, detached, or indifferent. As you'll see, Juno in Aquarius is very much like Venus in Aquarius. But with Juno, I would say you're looking more so at the problems, but Venus can deal with the benefits and the problems. So with Venus in Aquarius, of course, you got to think about all the positives that can come with that Venus in Aquarius. But with Juno in Aquarius, you really want to focus on the problems. A partner may have a hard time being in a monogamous relationship. They might be too liberated. They may not want to fully commit to you or fully settle down with you. So that can often pose problems. So Aquarius is one of the signs that has the highest rate of cheating, if you ask me. One of the signs. So when you have Juno in Aquarius, it's a high chance you're going to get cheated on. Or you might be the one doing the cheating. Now, a partner is spending too much time with friends, or they might be too influenced by their friends, or a friend could actually be a lover in disguise. So, this came up on this podcast that I like to listen to. It came up recently, this topic. It was the John Deloney show. I don't know if anybody ever watches that show on YouTube, but he has some interesting callers come in for advice. So this one guy called up and he probably had Juno in Aquarius because or either Venus in Aquarius or Juno in Aquarius, or he might have had Venus in the 11th for him to say this. So basically he was saying that he has this wife that's a firefighter, and she has these male friends. Naturally, she's going to attract male friends being a firefighter, right? So he said that she had already cheated on him in the past, and that she still insists upon having these male friends, and she claims she's not cheating and all this stuff, and he's wondering if he should trust her. Well, that's a very Juno and Aquarius type of scenario. Now, we can do a poll right now. Do you think married people should have friends of the opposite sex? If you think yes, press one. If you think no, press two. I'll tell you this, a lot of people in the comment section of that video, they were saying, and these were a lot of married people, they were like, no, your spouse shouldn't have friends of the opposite sex. It's too much of it produces too much potential for a sticky situation to occur. So press one if you believe that married people should not have friends of the opposite sex. Press two if you think it's okay. So Tara said two, Kawhi said two, Helen said one, Kay said two, Ellie said one. Yeah, that's a touchy subject because on one hand, I can understand that, a friend can just be a friend and that's that, especially if it's a friend from back in the day. But on the other hand, okay, that brings me to this next question. Does it depend on the type of friend? Let's say this is a friend that you grew up with, and you're a female and they're a male. And you know there's nothing going on romantically between you and her because they're like family at this point. I think it's kind of different if you're making new friends of the opposite sex and you're married. That's when, to me, it's going to be kind of suspicious. Tara said, I'm his friend. That's it. That's all. I think I would be like that too if I were married. I'd be like, you got me. What you need another woman for to be friends with? I'm all you need. Ellie said, if there's no physical attraction. I feel like the only way it's going to work is if you're a woman and your friend is gay. And then if you're a man and you're married and your female friend is a lesbian, I think that's the only way you could really fully trust. Or if there's a large age difference. Like if your husband is 45 and he has a female friend that's like 65 and maybe she's an old coworker. So I could kind of see, like, to me it's situational. It depends. Siobhan said, I don't really trust it, seeing too much. Right? The people that are very realist and people that are cynical will say no friends. And I am more on the realist cynical end. So I don't think I'd be too cool with my husband having female friends, especially if they were new female friends. I really wouldn't trust it. Now, if it's a female friend from back in the day, like that he grew up with, that's like a family friend, then yeah, maybe I would tolerate that. Madam 25 said, if you feel that way, why even be married? Ellie said, it's indeed situational. Helen said, that's on them if they cheat. I need my solitude. As long as that check in the account or on the dresser, I'm good. Kauai said, no. Some men bang studs and elderly women. You got that right. See, I'm trying to be nice to these men, but Kauai, you right. There's no lies detected there. Just when you think he wouldn't go there, he is. So again, a partner is spending too much time with friends or is too influenced by friends, or a friend could really be a lover in disguise. Also, another possibility is being in a sexless marriage or a relationship. Because one of the traits of Aquarius is to be asexual. So I'm not saying all Aquarians are asexual, but that can come with the Aquarius territory. So, a lot of people have this problem, a lot of married people. So if you find yourself in a sexless marriage, either you or your partner could have Juno in Aquarius or Juno in the 11th house, or Juno could join to Uranus, and that could play out as a sexless marriage or relationship, which in a lot of cases would make the partner prone to cheat, right? If they're not getting their sexual needs met. And that's where I do feel like there are exceptions to the rule when it comes to cheating. Like, but then again, I'm like, why even stay married if you're not being sexually fulfilled? But then in some cases, it could be because of your husband's health or your wife's health. Maybe they're so sick that they can't have sex anymore, but you still have a high sex drive. What do you do? That's why marriage is a very tricky, it can be very tricky when you really think about all the ins and outs of marriage. And I think a lot of people don't think about all these possible scenarios before they tie the knot. Because what do you do in that situation? And is cheating justified if your spouse can no longer satisfy you sexually because of a health problem? Or do you just grin and bear it? Do you just sacrifice your sexual needs because your partner, because you want to just remain true and you want to maintain that monogamy? What do you do in that situation? Also, intimacy could be lacking, or you could be trapped in the friend zone. That's another possibility. So with intimacy, it doesn't just deal with sex, of course. So you could be having sex with your partner, but there's this lack of intimacy. It could be more so wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But when it comes to that intimacy, y'all really getting into each other, getting deep with each other, it just may not be there. And then being trapped in the friend zone is another possibility with Juno and Aquarius. Issues with LGBTQ unions. So you'll find quite a few gays and lesbians and other members of the LGBTQ community will have Juno in Aquarius or Juno in the 11th house, and that can point to that. But again, remember, Juno deals with problems in a relationship. So even though it could be a lesbian union, one of the partners has Juno in Aquarius, and it could play out like where one of the partners is see again, let's say it's a lesbian relationship, so one of the women could start seeing men on the side, and that would explain why that Juno is in Aquarius. So again, Juno in Aquarius is not just about, oh, it's a gay or lesbian relationship. It's going to point to some of the issues that can play out in a gay or lesbian relationship. So again, if you got Juno in Aquarius, it might be easy for you to attract men. If you're a woman, you might attract men who are either on the DL, on the down low, or they could be bisexual. And more women are becoming okay with dating men who are bisexual, at least the women of the younger generations, because I've talked to quite a few of them through my practice. And yeah, quite a few of them have told me that they would be okay if their man was bisexual, which is a new thing. It's a new day. But there's still plenty of people that will have an issue with it. Now, of course, with Juno and Aquarius, a partner could be weird or odd. And again, there's nothing wrong with being weird or odd. Like Venus and Aquarius, for instance, could produce a partner that's weird or odd, but maybe you like that about them. But with Juno and Aquarius, you might not like the fact that they're weird or odd, especially in some situations. So you know how you can be with somebody and they might be weird or odd, and you can deal with that until you bring them around your family or friends, and now this person's not talking, or they say some inappropriate shit at the wrong time, and now you're all embarrassed and shit. So that's what I'm talking about with Juno and Aquarius. The person could be weird or odd, and they can end up making you look bad, or people will be like, why is she with him, or why is he with her? Make it make sense. This is another important one. Partner could be a pervert. So you might be you might stumble upon, your partner's phone, right? Maybe they didn't, maybe the phone is unlocked for some reason, and you just are curious and you want to see what this person has been looking at. And then you go to Pornhub and you see that he's been watching videos dealing with, um, I banged my stepmom, or I bang, that weird ass type of stuff, content and stuff, or it could even be worse. He could be on the dark web and stuff like that. So always know Aquarius produces perversion, so it's going to be easy to attract perverts. I'm not saying it's going to be a definite, but it's a possibility. If you have any type of suspicions and you got Juno and Aquarius that you're dealing with a pervert, basically your suspicions will probably be confirmed at some point. Also, another issue, your partner could be freakishly tall. Or you could be freakishly tall, and you might have challenges with finding the right mate because of that. But a lot of times it'll be the partner that is freakishly tall. And when I say freakishly tall, it could be a man that's like 6'6" or more, or maybe he's like pushing like 7 feet. Or it could be a woman where she's 6 foot or taller. Because Aquarius produces height. And with Juno and Aquarius, there could be an issue with that height. It could even be where, you know how some women, they believe that tall men are the tall men are the prize. A woman with Juno and Aquarius, she might insist upon only dating tall men when the short kings are the ones she really should be dealing with. So she's getting with one tall man after another, and they're all breaking her heart. So that could be part of that Juno and Aquarius as well. You know, them short kings, they know how to put it down too. I'm telling you. Don't discount the short dudes. I'm telling you. A lot of times they be working with some, I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm just saying. Now, a partner's group affiliations could be problematic, such as a partner that joins some weird fringe group, or like they start going to some meetings, and next thing you know, you find out it's a cult that they're, or it's like some quasi cult, or they want to be some type of activist, and now they're spending all their time marching in the streets and shit in vain because ain't shit gonna change. I'm telling you, don't underestimate the short kings. Annie, I got you beat. I'm only 5'2". But I'll say that 5'7", 5'8" territory with men, those be the best lovers if you ask me. No, I'm gonna say between 5'7" and 5'9". Those be the best lovers. They might not look the best on your arm because you neck and neck with them, but they usually be the ones that can really put it down. I'll just say. A lot of times those real tall dudes, they are a little awkward in bed. Now, divorce, breakups, and separations are highly likely. Now, on one end of the Aquarian spectrum, we have unification. On the other end, we have separations and disruptions. So, divorce, breakups, and separations are highly likely with Juno and Aquarius, especially where it happens quickly and suddenly. So, you might be married only for a year and then you get divorced. Also, the separations could just be temporary. Aquarian Essence says short men are good lovers. She's right. I'm telling you, don't underestimate the short kings. Mm, okay. Also, Juno and Aquarius can produce an open relationship or polyamory, but not just an open relationship, polyamory, but the problems that come with an open relationship and polyamory. And I've learned that a lot of times these type of relationships don't work out anyway because the partners are approaching this from an unrealistic standpoint. Because what they're not keeping in mind, this is the problem with Aquarius. Aquarius is all rational, right? Aquarius is very logical. So they might think, oh, okay, we're going to be in this open relationship, open marriage. You do your thing, I do my thing. We come together, we going to be all a threesome and all this stuff. And they don't think about, oh, but people's feelings are going to be involved because Aquarius really don't know nothing about feelings like that, emotions and all that stuff. So they forget that they're human. Oh, we're human at the end of the day, which means that I could get my feelings hurt. I could get my heart broken. This doesn't feel too good seeing my man go out every other night jumping on Miss Thing of the week. So yeah, it might look good on paper or in theory, but a lot of times in practice, it's just not going to work. Relationships of convenience. Now, right now, I'm just talking about Juno and Aquarius, but I'll also get into what can happen with Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. Relationships of convenience are possible where you're just with the person to make your life more convenient. But again, that convenience might come at a high price. You might end up getting more than what you bargained for with Juno and Aquarius. This is a big one, especially nowadays in modern times. And this is why, as an astrologer, I'm always like, when it comes to astrological factors, you always have to adjust for inflation and you have to adjust it to modern times. So back in the day when people had Juno and Aquarius before the internet, they didn't have to worry about social media and people airing out their dirty laundry on social media. But nowadays, if you got Juno and Aquarius, yes, that can very well happen where you're getting into it with your mate on social media, beefs on social media, your privacy is violated on social media, they putting you on blast on social media and all types of stuff. So yeah, that could definitely happen with Juno and Aquarius. It could even happen where, situations, this is why social media is so dangerous in relationships, because you're looking at all the likes that your man is he's liking all these women's posts on social media, or it might be one woman in particular, he keeps liking her posts. And now you think he got a thing for this woman. And now that sends you into investigative mode when you should be focused on things that can help you grow and help you to, improve your life and all that, but you're busy on social media trying to, see what the hell's going on. So, yes, that's definitely possible. This is another one. And this is more so for people with color, people of color, because colorism. Some of y'all, I know y'all heard me mention this before about Aquarius and colorism, but it's very true. Aquarius can produce the issue with colorism. So if you have Juno and Aquarius and you're a person of color, colorism might come up. And I got some examples to show this as I get past the general interpretations of Juno and Aquarius. But yeah, it could be somebody might have Juno and Aquarius and they might be like, I only deal with light skinned people. Like if they're a black person with Juno and Aquarius, they might insist upon only dating light skinned individuals. And then they're running into problems. It could be a man, one light skinned chick after another is always a problem. And then there's the brown skinned chick over here. She's gonna treat him right, but no, he don't want her. He just wants the light. And it could go in reverse. It could be somebody where they only want to deal with dark skin or brown skin individuals and they shun light skin individuals, but they keep on butting their head against a brick wall with the dark skin individuals. So colorism basically is when people of color, they are divisive when it comes to the shade of color you are. So colorism is present in the Black American community, it's present in the Latino community, it's present in the Asian community, it's present in the Indian community. It's basically all over the world with people of color. You'll see colorism. Like case in point with the Indians, the East Indians, they had the caste system. And sometimes that caste system is still in effect in these modern days and times, where the darkest Indians, they were at the bottom of the caste system and they were considered to be untouchable. That's colorism. So colorism goes way back to the beginning of time. Siobhan said, definitely have dealt with colorism having Aquarius energy. Tara said, I love dark skinned men and I'm light. Aquarian Essence said, yes, colorism is bad. But yeah, it's one of the ways that they keep people divided by color. You know, back in the day, you would have some, and it would usually be like an old black grandmother. She'd be like, oh, don't stay too long out in the sun. You don't want to get too dark. You don't want to get too black. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, she was a bit of a colorist. Not really openly, but my mom told me some things. Like my mom, she's light skinned. My grandma, her mother is light skinned. And when she got with my dad, who's dark skinned, my grandmother was like, why you want to get with him? He's so black. Like that. Because everybody on my grandma's side, my mother's mother, is basically all light. And then on my dad's side, it's a mixture of, different shades of brown and hue and all that type of stuff. But yeah, the colorism. And then even with on my dad's side of the family, and think about it, my mom's an Aquarius, my dad's an Aquarius. So both of them had their experiences with colorism. With my mother's mother, my grandmother basically talking about her husband was too black. And then my dad, he experienced colorism by being a dark skinned boy, and some of his family members were of the lighter hue. And he said that the lighter skinned family members will always get favoritism. They would always be all fawning over the lighter ones. So, yes, colorism has been around forever and it's still alive and well, unfortunately. Aquarian Essence said, I'm light skinned and think dark skinned people are gorgeous. Aquarian Essence said, my mother was a yellow bone and preferred darker skinned men. My mom too. And so yeah, growing up I had the best of both worlds. My dad was dark skinned, my mom light skinned. So I grew up really didn't I didn't feed into that colorism thing because I really I wasn't like favoring my dad or my mom because of the color of their skin. And the good thing was they never made a point, they never made a big deal about it at all. They didn't even really discuss things like that. But yeah, I do remember my mother telling me one time what my grandmother had said. Max said the dark skinned boys always got roasted for being black. I know, it's sad. It's really sad. All right, next. So now this is Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house in particular. So with Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house, there could be issues with living with a partner. And could because your partner is being too willful when it comes to him having his way at home. Also, his friends could always be over. And if it's a man and he's straight, it could be her friends are always over. Also can play out as living separately together. So you might live in the same house, but you might have separate bedrooms for whatever reason. It could be just because one of you snore loudly, but it could also be because there's a lack of intimacy and you two need your own space, or y'all just ain't feeling each other like that, but y'all just don't want to get divorced. Also, issues with agreeing on where to reside. Location could be an issue. So that's another tricky thing about marriage. One of you might want to move somewhere where the other one wants to stay put. How do you basically say, okay, who's going to win this argument? Are we going to move or are we going to stay where we're at? So when you have Juno in the fourth house, that could be one of the issues. Where are you going to live? Issues with a partner's family. That's possible with Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. And because it's Aquarius, it could be that the family is either very willful, like there's no compromising when it comes to the family. It could just be where they have so much family, you kind of get lost in the sauce, like when there's family events and all that type of stuff. A partner is not respecting your privacy. So that's another one. And again, it could be also via social media because the Aquarius energy. So it could be maybe he's a content creator and he videotaping you with no makeup on. That makes me think of Tiny, but I don't think her Juno's in Aquarius. But remember T.I. He videotaped he recorded Tiny. I didn't say videotape. He recorded Tiny with no makeup on and everybody was clowning her. But that's something that can happen when you got Juno and Aquarius in the fourth. A partner echoes some of the issues you have with your father. So that's possible with Juno in the fourth. And with Juno and Aquarius, in terms of the father may not have been fully present in your life. He might have been more concerned about his outside interests than being a father at home. So you might attract a partner who echoes that. A partner doesn't want to work. You might end up with a house husband instead of a husband that is the breadwinner, that is the main provider, or that is contributing equally to the household. So that could be an issue as well. He might just want to stay home and be the house husband, be the house father, stay at home dad, I mean. And also, this can produce challenges with conceiving a child. And it could be because you know you don't belong with that person, really. So your body is going to reject it. Your uterus is going to reject that child that's in your womb because that fourth house is dealing with your uterus, your womb. So challenges with even being able to conceive, but even if you get pregnant, you might end up miscarrying simply because you know deep down inside, or I'll say maybe you don't know, but your body knows that you don't belong with this man. Tara said that picture is gorgeous. I could frame it and put it in my house. Let's go back to it real quick. I know, I do love this picture. Don't Isn't it pretty? I was so excited when I found it. Yeah, that's very pretty. All right, let's move this out the way. All right, so more about Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. So there could be issues with living with a roommate or communal living situations. And when I say communal living situations, yeah, it could be you living in a commune and there's problems with that, but that's kind of rare. When I say communal living situations, that's like living in a condominium, living in an apartment complex, living in a duplex where you got issues with the neighbors and stuff like that. So that could be a problem. Issues with the HOA. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. If you got Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house, you might be getting fined by the HOA. They might be real nitpicky. They might be threatening to try to take your home. These HOAs are out of control nowadays. You could be opening your home to a friend in need, but this could result in regret. I remember I opened my home to a friend in need. I did that a couple of times when I was younger and I ended up regretting it. So yeah, when you got Juno in Aquarius in the fourth house, just be careful of who you allow to stay with you, even if it's one night. I would just be careful, be very careful. And I know a lot of times we want to be that good friend, and this could even include family members too. You want to do the right thing or what you think is the right thing, but sometimes what do they call that? No good deed goes unpunished. So true. I know all about that. Now, a partner or roommate wants the house to be cold. So this is another one. Aquarius is one of those cold signs. It could be icy cold. So that's another problem that can be present in a marriage or a cohabitation situation. The difference in temperature. Some people like a cold house. Other people they like warmth. All that is one of the more common issues in a marriage or just cohabitation, especially when it's male and female living together. Usually men like it cold or at least cool, and then women want warmth. So that could be an issue where they always got the AC cranked up high and it's cold up there, or in the wintertime they got the window open. They're driving in the wintertime with the window open. That's another possibility. Now, a partner wastes energy or electricity. They leave the lights on, and this could apply to a roommate too. They leave the lights on, they leave appliances running. Again, the AC cranked all the way up. Aquarian Essence says 65 is perfect. See, 65 is too cold for me. But it makes sense. You're Aquarian. Aquarian Essence, 65. That's ice cold. Right now I got my thermostat at 75, and that's good enough. Like that's to be economical, but also I don't like being too cold, especially that artificial. Now, it could be where you question whether he's cheating, and he'd be like, "May God strike me down if I'm lying." And then next thing you know, he gets struck by lightning. And that's your answer right there. So, and know that yes, people do get struck by lightning. It does happen. Or they could get electric shock by trying to plug something in, and it might be faulty wiring or something like that. So just know that that could occur with Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house, but it might be their karma. K South say, yes, 75. I'll go a little higher. Oh, is it still choppy? Probably because I moved my laptop. My bad. Let me know if it's still choppy. And I did just lay down. Ellie said I like mine at 70. Alex said I have mine usually at 70 to 75 degrees. All right. And then someone could be using your Wi-Fi signal when you have Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. So they might be using it because you allowed them to, or they might be using it without your permission. So that's possible. Hey, Blazing. And then eminent domain. Thank you, K South. Eminent domain is possible. You know what eminent domain is? That's when the city decides to create some type of development. Usually it'll be some commercial property and they want to take your home. They want to knock down all the homes in the neighborhood and they're coming for your home and they're like, okay, we'll buy your home for you, but you got to get out by this date. So that's possible with Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house in particular. Here's another image that I found that I really like. All right, so some more about Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. Being given or giving ultimatums. You know, Aquarius is the sign of the ultimatum. If you don't do this, then I'm going to take this away, or I'm going to leave you, or that's it, we're breaking up. So your partner might give you ultimatums, or you might be giving the ultimatums. Do this or else. Also, you could have a partner that's apathetic. A partner's behavior or actions are sometimes shocking or surprising. So this part right here is more so still dealing with Juno and Aquarius, not so much the fourth house. But shocking, being shocked by what your partner does, or being totally taken aback, being blindsided by something that they do, having the rug pulled out from underneath you. Also, with the fourth house, Juno and Aquarius can produce a mirroring effect, and especially because it's in Aquarius, that can be in terms of interests, goals, and friends. So y'all might have the same friend. Y'all might have a mutual friend before y'all even meet each other. Y'all might even meet through a friend. Unpredictability. So Aquarius is the sign of unpredictability. You said give the girls. Well, remember this is Juno, and Juno is about the problems more so than the benefits of a relationship. So unpredictability, just expect the relationship to be rather unpredictable. Basically, expect the unexpected. Also, you can expect upsets and upheavals in the home if you have Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. A partner could be disruptive. They could be a disruptive influence in the home. And it could be something as simple as they come home and they start playing music really loudly, or they start playing video games real loudly and they're shouting at the screen and stuff like that when you're just trying to relax after a hard day of work. But it could be worse, where they might start tearing up shit in the house. Now, this is not going to be very common, but there's a possibility. So remember, I said Juno and Aquarius in the fourth, there could be upsets in the home, and that could include domestic violence situations. And it could even be where you get pushed down the stairs, or you might fall down the stairs due to someone's interference or negligence. So Aquarius rules stairs. So that is a possibility with Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. So it could even be your child that does it. Yeah, Juno's the problem. So it could be your child leaves some toy on the step, and next thing you know, you slip on it and you fall down the stairs. You bust your ass. So that's a possibility. Or a partner could push you down the stairs. All right. Back to Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house. A family friend could be problematic. And it could be because they have a sense of entitlement. Also, racial or cultural activism is a major theme, and there could be problems with that. Expect the unexpected when it comes to staying at hotels, Airbnbs, and restaurants, because the fourth house is dealing with all of those. Fourth house deals with hotels, Airbnbs, and restaurants. So having Juno in Aquarius in the fourth house, just expect the unexpected. Always have a contingency plan in place in case your lodging falls through or there's some issue. You might have to change hotel rooms. You like that picture, Kawhi? Yeah, I tried to get some really good images that have a peacock theme for Juno. Josie said, my Juno is scary, Scorpio, and in the eighth. Oh, Lord. That could definitely make you a widow. Now, unforeseen circumstances arise in the course of buying or selling real estate. So that can happen with the fourth house ruling real estate. Let's go back to the Airbnb situation. Has anybody ever had a horror story with Airbnb? Because I got the Taurus South Node in the fourth house, I refuse to use Airbnb. I've never rented an Airbnb and I don't ever plan on doing it. Because my Taurus South Node in the fourth, I want luxury to a certain degree. I want a certain level of comfort. I want the shit to feel normal. And I'm not going to feel normal in somebody else's house. I'd rather just pay the money to be in a hotel. And then it used to be back in the day that Airbnb was a bit cheaper than booking a hotel room, but now Airbnb is coming out to be more expensive. And then you got to clean up after yourself and all that. Who wants to do that when you're on vacation or on travel? Tara said, I never stayed at one. Helen said, nope, never tried it. Me neither. Josie said, maybe I'll just stay single forever. Ellie said, I never use one. Hotels are where it's at, right? And then with a hotel, you have somebody to complain to immediately. And then I don't like the idea with Airbnb where the owner of the place can always just walk in on you. They can make some excuse up like, oh, I forgot my umbrella or something. I don't like that. Siobhan said, I never stayed at one either. Yeah, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to lodging. But the same could occur with a restaurant. So if you got Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house, you might be the one who's always getting the messed up meal at a restaurant. You might always have an issue with your server, or it could be some issue just with the price or whatever like that. You get overcharged or something. So be careful when eating out at restaurants. Unforeseen circumstances arise in the course of buying or selling real estate. A lot can go wrong when you're trying to sell a house and when you're trying to buy a house. So if you got Juno and Aquarius in the fourth house, number one, I would get probably two inspectors before I bought a house, just to make sure that you're covering all bases and you're trying to identify any potential problems. Oh yeah, that's right. The hidden cameras in the Airbnbs, that's another issue. So also there could be an issue with a real estate agent. All right, so now we're going to get into some celebrities that have Juno in Aquarius. Because, I like to drive the point home. I like to use some examples to really exemplify this energy. So Meek Mill has Juno in Aquarius. Now, about Meek Mill, I've never really gotten into his music. I really don't know much about him except that he dated Nicki Minaj back in the day, and I think it was briefly. And then I know he's associated with Diddy. And as of late, ever since Diddy has been on the chopping block, Meek Mill has been getting a lot of flack. People have been clowning the shit out of him, especially on Instagram. Like there's this one guy that always be making these little video clips where he's using AI to put Meek Mill and P. Diddy's face on different characters from movies and videos and stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, so Meek Mill Taurus has Juno and Aquarius. Now, when it comes to Juno, depending on the sign in the house, I like to look for reinforcements of Juno. So usually you'll see a reinforcement of a person's Juno in their chart through some planet or placement, whether it's dealing with the seventh house or Venus. If it's a man, it could be dealing with either his Venus or his moon. If it's a woman, it could be representing like her Mars, her Sun, her Venus, seventh house, and so forth. So Meek Mill has Juno at the 26th degree of Aquarius. That 26 deals with partnerships and especially challenges that come with partnerships. And when you got 26, that 26 degree, you really got to be careful who you partner up with. especially since his Juno is running parallel to his South Node in Libra. So Meek Mill, I don't have his birth time. So this is the only reinforcement I could find in the chart. And it's a positive reinforcement. So he has Moon in Leo, trine Uranus and Sagittarius. So that qualifies as a reinforcement because Uranus rules Aquarius. So this can deal with where he gets with a woman who, she's real like free spirited. She's, kind of out there. She's unique. It kind of sounds like Nicki Minaj. Now, who else? Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius. So that Moon and Leo trine Uranus and Sagittarius, that fits. But who else was Meek Mill associated with romantically? Has he ever been married? I don't know much about him. And he claimed that he made millions at the age of like 22 or whatever. And I'm like, how? By being Diddy's little plaything? Kawhi said, I remember when that rich white man was trying to dance on Meek and grab his crouch from behind. What? I didn't see that. There's a so here's this chart right here. Here's that moon in Leo. It's in trine with his Uranus, also Saturn as well. But again, just to talk about the reinforcements with his Juno, that moon trine Uranus definitely fits the bill. Now, this is also dealing with Juno and Aquarius. Now, in 2018, following his release from state custody, Mill immediately became a leading advocate of criminal justice reform in the United States, where he transitioned his advocacy into the co formation of Reform Alliance with fellow recording artist and entrepreneur Jay Z. Now, Jay Z got Mars in Aquarius, so that definitely fits his partnership with Jay Z. And remember, Meek Mill has Juno parallel that Libra South Node. So the Libra South Node part comes in with the advocacy and also that criminal justice. The reform is the Aquarius part, and also the Reform Alliance. That's the Aquarius part. And again, Jay Z having his Mars in Aquarius. You'll often see that again. You'll see reinforcements of the themes of Juno per the sign in the house. So partnering up with people that have Aquarius energy when you have Juno and Aquarius can often occur. And then here he is with Nicki Minaj. So Mill dated rapper Nicki Minaj from early 2015 until January 2017. So basically they were together for a little bit less than a year, it looks like. I mean, 2 years. And I always wonder like what Nikki saw in him because I don't think he's that attractive. But I'm noticing a lot of women, they really don't care about looks. But let me see. Siobhan said, did he pass him to his other billionaire cronies? There is a recording of supposedly it's supposed to be Diddy and Meek Mill having sex. Matter of fact, let me try to find it for y'all real quick because I'll play it. It sounds really bad. Hopefully I can find it. Let me see. Meek Mill. So here he is with Diddy. It says on Wednesday, the Philadelphia rapper took to X to acknowledge allegations that he was the artist listed as redacted in a lawsuit filed last year by music producer Rodney Little Rod Jones against Diddy. So I think this guy, Rodney Little Rod Jones, is the one that released the video where Meek Mill and Diddy are supposed to be having sex. Hold on. And it's just a few seconds long. Let's see. That ain't going. Hold on. That's when he was in the pool. People clown him for being in the pool too.
of Meek getting pounded by Diddy. Child, I was shocked to the core when I first heard the audio. Aside from the fact that the voices of the audio sound exactly like Meek and Diddy, it was very disturbing to listen because Meek was screaming at the top of his lungs, and it really sounded like he was in serious pain, but Diddy just kept going. Now, y'all know I can't play the full audio for y'all because it really is that disturbing, but I'ma just let y'all hear a little bit. And again, just know it's very disturbing and very sensitive. Oh, now
I gotta hear that again. I'm gonna play it one more time.
pounded by Diddy. Child, I was shocked to the core when I first heard the audio. Aside from the fact that the voices of the audio sound exactly like Meek and Diddy, it was very disturbing to listen because Meek was screaming at the top of his lungs, and it really sounded like he was in serious pain, but Diddy just kept going. Now, y'all know I can't play the full audio for y'all because it really is that disturbing, but I'ma just let y'all hear a little bit. And again, just know it's very disturbing and very sensitive. Now,
Wow. Now,
Meek
do
getting
y'all believe?
pounded by Diddy.
Hold on.
Child, I was
Do y'all believe that
shocked to
that's
the
really
core.
Diddy and Meek Mill going at it? And remember, I said Juno and Aquarius can produce issues with LGBTQ situations. Oh, that's from a porn. Okay. Thanks for confirming that, Kauai. But yeah. But yes, a lot of people are speculating that Meek Mill was Diddy's lover at one point. It says Jones' lawsuit, which accused Diddy of sexual assault and harassment, alleged that a certain rapper had sex with Combs. In a footnote, the redacted name was said to be a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Interesting. Back in November, Meek distanced himself from Combs as seen in a viral video. Wait a minute. Why isn't this up? Hold on. How come this picture isn't showing? Let me know if you could see the picture of Diddy. Wait a minute. Let me close out and pull it back up. Okay, okay, I see it now. Okay, I see it. All right. Back in November, Meek distanced himself from Combs as seen in a viral video which captured the Philly MC using the No Diddy catchphrase that's been thrown around ever since Cassie filed a lawsuit against the hip hop mogul in 2023. Now, they've done a lot of hanging out together, a lot, because I got a few images of them just chilling, hanging together, and I'm kind of like, to me, it's kind of sus. Like, they seem very, very buddy buddy. So, this is the larger image of the image that you just saw. I'm thinking Diddy bought Meek Mill that chain, that iced out chain that says DD. What's that mean? Dick 'em down? Here they are again, chilling at some type of lounge. Look like Diddy is wearing mink. Or maybe that's sable, I don't know. But yeah, look at Meek Mill looking at Diddy. He's looking at him with kind of like lovey-dovey eyes. So I wouldn't be surprised if they really did have something going on. That picture is almost like unmistakable. I think this is more than friends going on. Let's see what y'all are saying. Said Diddy. Alex said Diddy looks terrible in that photo. Helen said I see it. Blaze. Okay, you're talking about the picture. Kawhi said I see Diddy and Meek picture. Siobhan said he does look horrible. Ellie said that mouth breather face. Siobhan said he paid 27,000 for Meek's birthday. What? Party, whole boyfriends. Wow. And you know what the type of person Diddy is. You're not going to hang with him unless you're giving up the booty. Like you're not hanging that tough with him unless you're giving up the booty. Look at this picture. Like they've been hanging tough. And if you look at Diddy closely in this picture, this is the next picture I'm showing. Diddy look high as shit. Now Meek Mill don't look high, but Diddy look high as shit, and Diddy look like he just got done, like, you know, having a freak off. Yeah, his mouth always open. He can't shut it. Yeah, he don't love anyone, Alex. He's just using everybody. Right? Okay, in this picture right here. Now I'm like, they were definitely a couple. Wait till you see the next picture that pop up. Like, look at this mock turtleneck. No, that's actually a collar. I thought it was a mock turtleneck he had on at first. But look, I'm just saying, come on, that look like that's his little husband right there. Jules said, but no music made, right? Because again, I can't think of a single song by Meek Mill. Has he even had a hit? But look at this. They look like husband and husband just going out for a night on the town. And then here we are again. This is another night where they're hanging out, chilling with each other. And in this picture, Meek Mill look a little guilty. First of all, where are all the women at? Do y'all see what I'm looking at? Where are the women in this picture? All I'm seeing is a group of men. Sus. Very sus. This is how they really get down after 3 a.m. Look at the dude in the back with the raccoon eyes. Yo, there's something really strange about this picture, man. Where are the women? And Meek Mill looking like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. You don't see a single woman. Maybe that's one all the way in the back with her head kind of down. Because I'm seeing some waves, but that could be a man too. Yup, boys' night out. Look at the one in the with the camera. He looking all eager, like he like I want to play too. And here we go. That's the night they had a threesome with the little short man. I forget what that actor's name is, but he's barely in the picture. But this is the picture you're talking about, Siobhan, where they're dressed alike. Come on. And look at Meek Mill's face. Look at this, y'all. They was lovers, y'all. Come on, why are they wearing the same goddamn outfit? Matching, and you know Aquarius is about coordinating. You got to coordinate, coordinate. They was very much coordinated that night. And then it looked like they had a little threesome with the little man right there with the Gucci headband. What's his name? What's that actor's name? Meep said, wait a minute, Ellie said, Superhead said the floor was shining with baby oil and the walls too. Damn, right? Again, look at this. So yes, Meek Mill has Juno and Aquarius, and it shows. It definitely shows. But this picture is weird. And then whose hand is that on top of that little man's head? Is that Meek Mill's hand? Is that a hand? That's a hand, ain't it? What grown man puts his hand on another grown man's head like that? Come on. Something really weird going on. They probably paid him maybe, a couple of bands to spend the night with them and do all types of tricks. Oh, that's his name, Wee Man from Jackass. Mm-hmm. You know how them jackass dudes get down too. They're very rainbow like. You know, they look so happy. And then look at this dude over here with this red collar. Or no, that's a red bandana. And again, all I'm seeing is men. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Okay. All I'm seeing is men. Where the women at? Yeah, you know that you see the hand? What the hell is going on? All right, and then I think this is the last picture. So this looks like yet another night where they're chilling together, having, a good night out after they probably, got a nice session in, like nice little freak off session. And again, like someone said, where's the music? They spending all this time together but not making a single song. All right, so that's enough about Meek Mill. We're moving on to the next Juno in Aquarius individual. Siobhan said they said Diddy likes meetings in his bathroom, who meeting with a man and yeah, exactly. That's nasty. I got a meeting in the ladies' room. I'll be back real soon. I got a meeting in the men's room. I'll be back real soon. All right, so now we got another example of Juno in Aquarius. We got Erica Mena. So for some of y'all that don't know who this woman is, because she's not really a A-list celebrity or anything like that, let me just read about her real quick. Erica Jasmine Mena, born November 8th, 1987, is an American actress, model, singer, and video vixen. She is best known for her appearances in the Love and Hip Hop franchise from 2011 to 2023, particularly in the New York and Atlanta installments. All right, so she's best known for the whole Love and Hip Hop franchise. All right. So Erica Mena has Juno at the 25th degree of Aquarius. So her reinforcements are she has Moon in Gemini opposing Uranus and Sagittarius. So I don't have her birth time either, or else I could probably find more reinforcements like maybe her seventh house is lit up, fifth house could be lit up. But here's her chart. So she's a Scorpio with that Sun conjunct Pluto. She also has Mercury and Mars in Libra, Venus in Sagittarius, Moon in Gemini. Now remember, I said that there could be issues with colorism with Juno and Aquarius, and Erica Mena is a perfect example. So this post right here, this isn't about her being a colorist, but it's still showing that people were commenting that she got darker. So she responded saying, Erica Mena explains darker appearance. Brother, I'm Dominican, Puerto Rican. I've been on vacation. So Mena is of Dominican and Puerto Rican ancestry. And like I said, colorism runs rampant in the Latino community. So her being both Dominican and Puerto Rican, I'm sure she's been around colorists her whole life. Now, Erica Mena is openly bisexual, and that fits Juno in Aquarius as well. So I wasn't really watching Love and Hip Hop when she was on there, but I do remember that she was messing with this chick right here, and I forget what her name is. But I don't think that relationship was very harmonious. And then she became a widow, or no, that wasn't her husband. That was just the father of her son. So she had a son with this guy named Paul Condi, and then he later died. So experiencing sudden upsets, sudden separations, that applies if somebody dies suddenly. So that is very much her Juno and Aquarius. She has a son, King Javian Condi, with video director and rapper Raul Condi, a member of Fat Joe's Terror Squad. Now I'm like, is he related to Fat Joe? Because he look a lot like Fat Joe. Ellie said Nikki just likes to pick up trash because an outstanding man wouldn't put up with her shit. Kawhi said, was Erica Mena with someone who connected to who was with Nicki Minaj? Raul Conde, her baby daddy, is a member of the famous rap group Terror Squad. Before either of them were in many headlines, Mena went viral for assaulting him in public for a tabloid video. And there's a video of her hitting him upside his head, but I don't have time to post it right now. Now, he died on November 22nd, 2023. You know, that 22nd can produce sudden death situations. Now, at one point, Erica Mena was engaged to Bow Wow. So Mena was previously engaged to Bow Wow in December 2018. News recently hit the tabloids that the reality star's relationship with Chad Moss, otherwise known as Bow Wow, ended after only a short period of getting together. And although they hashed out their breakup issues on social media, remember I said issues with social media with Juno and Aquarius? It was little it was a little unclear as to what was the cause. But Mena came clean as to why the seemingly happy couple quickly crashed and burned. So she said, I've been quiet about it because we were engaged, but obviously he was in his feelings after my Snapchat post. Again, the social media shit. I could have gone public about our breakup a month ago, she said. He does this to make headlines. Just leave me alone. I moved on. Why are you still in your feelings? He's literally posting about Joie, his daughter's mother, to get on my nerves, and it's not working. He's posting it to fuck with her head and to try to get a reaction out of me. Listen, I walked away silently. And then here she is with Safari. So Mena became engaged to rapper and television personality Safari Samuels. On October 7, 2019, she and Samuels married at the Legacy Castle in New Jersey. She seems problematic. Now, on May 4th, 2021, she announced that she and Samuels were expecting their second child together. On May 25th, 2021, TMZ reported that Mena officially filed for divorce from Samuels. Their son was born in 2021. So she was only married to him for what, 3 years? Less than 3 years. So that's what I mean about that. Juno and Aquarius, it can produce short-lived marriages. It can produce sudden breakups. Divorce is easy to come by with Juno and Aquarius. Yeah, didn't he show his dick one time? Safari did. I think somebody sent me a picture of it. Now, the colorism issue returns with this beef that she had with her co-star on Love and Hip Hop. So Mena was fired from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in September 2023 after calling fellow cast member Spice a blue monkey. So that was another issue. It said people were calling for her to be canceled before she got fired from Love and Hip Hop. It says on Tuesday, September 26th at 9 p.m., immediately following the season finale of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the conversation continues with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, racism, colorism, and the uncomfortable truth. This roundtable discusses the recent events that aired on the show before MTV decided to stop filming with Erica Mena, international colorism expert Dr. Sarah L. Webb, founder and owner of Colorism Healing, a leader in raising awareness, shifting attitudes, and taking action, leads an open dialogue that features a bunch of people talking about colorism. So this became a hot topic when it came out. Says MTV's Love and Hip Hop Atlanta viewers are demanding cast member Erica to be fired after racist comments on recent episode. And then here she is with Clifford Dixon. So it says in October 2018, Mena and boyfriend Clifford Dixon were arrested at Mena's Johns Creek, Georgia residence for a domestic dispute, with Dixon charged with criminal trespass and Mena charged with marijuana possession. He kind of looks like that dude Mendeces, Yandy's. Oh man, did they ever get married? Now, the police were called when roommates, remember I said issues with roommates with Juno and Aquarius. Now, her Juno might be in the fourth house because of this situation. The police were called when roommates were disturbed by the commotion upstairs when Dixon kicked down the bedroom door that Mena had locked to barricade herself. Both were released when posting bail. She does look like a vampire right there. And then wouldn't you know it, Bow Wow has Juno in Aquarius too. So it makes sense that him and Erica Mena were hashing it out on social media with both of them having Juno in Aquarius. This is one of the better pictures of Bow Wow. So Bow Wow's Juno is at the 25th degree of Aquarius. It's in his 10th house. So his reinforcements are he has Venus in Aquarius. So that reinforces his Juno in Aquarius, of course. He also has Venus in Aquarius squaring Mars in Taurus, and they're both at the 25th degree. So that 25 is echoed with Juno at the 25th degree. And Venus square Mars usually produces rocky, unstable relationships, so the instability echoes his Juno in Aquarius. He also has Uranus in the seventh house, which reinforces his Juno in Aquarius. And then Jupiter, ruler of his seventh house, is in his 11th, which also reinforces his Juno in Aquarius. And then Moon opposition Neptune, that's more so echoing that 25th degree. So here's Bow Wow's chart. He's a Pisces with Mercury at the 0 degree of Pisces. There's that Uranus in the seventh house, like I spoke about. He has Venus. Wait a minute, where was I getting that? Oh, I was talking about the 20, not his, so his planets are at the 25th degree. It's that his Mars is in the 12th, and that's why I was saying it echoed that 25th degree. Because that 25 breaks down to 7, that's like Neptune 12th house energy. So for him to have Venus square Mars with Mars in the 12th, that is pretty much representing that 25th degree. And that could pertain to a woman that's cheating on him with some other man. Does anybody have any examples of that? Like anything you know about Bow Wow's relationships? Did he get with a woman that was cheating on him? But that also is pointing to this one situation that I'm going to read about. So here he is with Erica Mena. In December of 2015, Bow Wow and Erica Mena called off their engagement, with Mena saying, "Listen, I walked away silently. He's an abuser." The particulars of their breakup are resurfacing now, however, as Mena speaks on the split above, with Bow Wow accusing her of acting and lying. We broke up because I left. I left because it's no secret. I've been through a lot in my life, she says. Everyone has a different way of healing and dealing with things. I didn't know how to mend those broken issues that I had from my past. It's kind of hard being with someone who is more damaged than you are. Bow Wow mocks her with emojis and hashtags on his Instagram page, and Mena responded by calling out the rapper for his lies. But yet you live a lie, she wrote in reference to Bow Wow's recent statements that he won't be voting in the presidential election because he's mixed. Oh yeah, I remember Bow Wow tried to say that. Next, we have Bow Wow and Ciara. I never thought this was a legit relationship. I never thought that they were really in love. I wasn't buying it. I saw it more so as a publicity stunt. And Ciara looked much older than Bow Wow. Is there a major age difference between the two of them? Looked like she was sitting with her little brother. Now, Ciara and Bow Wow dated from 2004 to 2006. He revealed on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta in February 2018 that they were engaged. I was engaged to Ciara and I was engaged to Erica, he told viewers. You see how both of them didn't result in marriage. That's his Juno and Aquarius. Also, that Venus and Aquarius square in Mars. Bow Wow was engaged to Erica, whom he dated from 2014 to 2015. The former couple repeatedly threw jabs at each other on social media after their split. Following a Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta episode on June 27, 2018, she claimed the rapper broke Ciara's finger. I wonder if that's true. He broke Ciara's finger years ago, so this been going on, she said on Instagram in regard to the abuse allegations. Well, Ciara never came out and said that Bow Wow broke her finger, but I don't know, maybe he did and she didn't want to make that public because it was embarrassing, but who knows? But I never really saw them as a legitimate couple. Next we have Kiyomi. So Bow Wow dated Kiyomi from 2017 to 2019. Their relationship ended after an explosive fight in February. Both stars were arrested and claimed they were assaulted. She fucked his face up. The rapper claimed that he had to get a tetanus shot after she allegedly bit him. So again, unstable relationships. Bet he won't tell y'all the police been called out more than that one occasion, and his family lied and covered for him that time. He beat me while I was pregnant, punched me in my stomach, and I lost my baby and still covered for him, Kiyomi stated on Twitter on June 29th. Interesting. The former 106 and Park host is also castmates with another ex girlfriend. Angela Simmons dated Bow Wow in 2012. He claimed the reason they broke up is that she didn't want to have sex before marriage. So remember, I said Juno and Aquarius in some cases can deal with a sexless relationship. So that was the issue when he got with Angela Simmons. You know, her dad is Reverend Run. So she wasn't trying to give up the cookie before marriage. And I guess that was a deal breaker for Bow Wow. Bow Wow is facing backlash from fans after he posted and deleted a disgusting message about Olivia Skye, the mother of his second child, 3-year-old Stone. He said, I wish my baby mother got ran over by a Mack truck, he wrote, according to a screenshot obtained by the Shade Room Wednesday. And then he said, not Joie the bum bitch y'all don't know. He's so immature. The Let Me Hold You rapper born Shad Moss then commented under the Shade Room post, Byron in real life, referencing his role in Medea's Big Happy Family. So with his Juno and Aquarius, there's a high chance he's never going to find peace in his relationships. And that's because he's the major cause of it. Bow Wow's longest relationship was to his baby mama, Joie Chavis. Is it Joie or Joy? I don't know. The two dated on and off from 2010 to 2017. They parents to their daughter. Who wrote this? It says they parents. I guess they are parents to their daughter, Shy Moss. She also has a child with Sierra's ex-boyfriend, Future. Remember I said issues with friends and associates with Juno and Aquarius. So it's interesting that she got with Future, who's Sierra's ex-boyfriend, and then Bow Wow used to date Sierra. Like these music industry and Hollywood types, they like to keep it in the industry. They just be passing each other around and trading partners and trading spouses and all that type of stuff. That's too close for comfort for me. And then this part. Despite Bow Wow's ex-girlfriend, Joie Chavis, and Diddy's short-lived romance being dead in the water, the fresh Azamiz rapper still chose to speak on his disappointment in the rumored couple on the Baller Alert show earlier this month. So it was rumored that Bow Wow's, the mother of his, what is it, a little girl they had, and his ex-girlfriend got with Diddy temporarily. So with Diddy being an associate of Bow Wow, again, that's very much Juno and Aquarius. So here she is kissing Diddy. After photos of the bad boy mogul 53 and Chavis 34, mother to Bow's oldest child Shy 11, leaked back in September 2021, the former so-so deaf artist 36 revealed that he felt Joie knew better. He also admitted that he spoke to both parties separately about the ordeal. Yup. Yup, Siobhan Diddy threw her birthday party. That was her excuse. Chavis took to Instagram in January 2022 to address allegations of a scandal, considering Diddy was reportedly dating Young Miami at the time of the kiss. She said, "Since y'all so damn nosy, here it is. Me and him are friends and have been," wrote the mother of two. "I was working on an unreleased project for him, and that's why I was in Italy. In the midst of me being there, we kissed. That's it." Now, you know Diddy wants more than just a kiss. That was the kiss after the freak off, I'm sure. Diddy didn't go further than that. I had my own damn room, and he has always been respectful to me as a friend. The kiss shouldn't have happened, but it did, and there's nothing I could do about it. Okay, whatever. Yeah, that is not a simple kiss. She got her eyes closed. That's one of those kisses that you have after you've been smashing for the past couple of hours. I already know about that. Come on. That is not some innocent, friendly kiss. All right, next we have this lovely individual. I'll wait till it shows up on my screen. Dang, this is taking a minute. Okay, here we go. Elliot Page. Elliot Page. Elliot Page started off as Ellen Page, and she's best known for her role in the film Juno. Isn't that interesting? So we got Juno as an example for Juno. So Elliot Page, she transitioned in 2021 from female to male, and now she goes by, well, she was Ellen, and now she goes by Elliot. So Elliot Page has Juno at the first degree of Aquarius, and her reinforcements are seen with Venus in Capricorn, quincunx Chiron in Gemini, because that quincunx can produce an unusual type of relationship. and it can produce a relationship that's rather unstable. And then she also has Mars in Taurus, Trine Uranus in Sagittarius, so that reinforces that Juno in Aquarius. Now, remember, I said Juno in Aquarius can produce issues with LGBTQ type of situations and relationships. So naturally, she's part of the LGBTQ community, but that doesn't mean that she's going to have harmonious LGBTQ relationships, especially with Juno in Aquarius. So here's her chart right here. Unfortunately, I couldn't find her birth time, so I can't talk about what house Juno is in. But here we go, right here. Juno, the movie, and she's representing Juno in Aquarius. Now, I remember watching this movie with my daughter when it first came out, and it was kind of cute and quirky, but it was kind of annoying at the same time. And this dude was very annoying, Michael Cera. So in his 2023 tell all, Page recalled frequently hooking up with his Juno co star while filming the indie movie in 2007. Now, she wasn't hooking up with this dude, she was hooking up with this girl. So she said, we started having sex all the time, her hotel room, in our trailers, at work, once in a tiny private room in a restaurant. What were we thinking? We thought we were subtle. Elliot Page opens up about the hidden relationship with Juno co-star Olivia Thirley. Now, she might have Juno in the 12th house, being as though she was in the secret relationship back then when she was filming Juno. She said, being intimate with Olivia helped my shame dissipate. I didn't see, that makes me think she got Juno in Aquarius in the 12th house. Her saying, my shame. Being intimate with Olivia helped my shame dissipate. I didn't see a glint of it in her eyes, and I wanted that. Done feeling wretched about who I am. Now, Paige sparked a romance with Emma Portner in July 2017. The couple announced less than 1 year later that they had tied the knot. 2 years into their marriage, the Inception actor revealed that he identifies as transgender. So once Elliot decided to come out as transgender, I believe that was a big reason for the divorce. Elliot Page has that sadness behind her eyes, which is so Pisces. So US Weekly confirmed 1 month later that Page filed for divorce from his wife of 3 years. The estranged couple later clarified that they quietly separated the previous year, so having a short-lived marriage, that's very much Juno in Aquarius. Ellie said there's something attractive about Michael Cera. Elliot Page is opening up about his past relationships in his new memoir, Page Boy, which included a love triangle between himself, Kate Mara, and her boyfriend at the time, Max Minghella. So remember, I said polyamory, open relationships are possible with Juno in Aquarius. So Elliot Page is saying that she was dealing with this woman, Kate Mara, when Kate was in a relationship with Max Minghella. So that's very Juno and Aquarius. In an excerpt published by People, Page, who came out as gay in 2014 and announced he was transgender 6 years later, wrote that he and Mara had a secret relationship. Again, that makes me think that his Juno is in the 12th house. Had a secret relationship after meeting on the set of X-Men, Days of Future Past. The first person I fell for after my heart was broken was Kate Mara. She had a boyfriend at the time, the lovely and talented Max Minghella, Page explained, adding that Minghella was supportive of Mara exploring the relationship with Page. All right, next. I'll wait till it shows up on my phone. Alex said, oh, the tea. Helen said, I don't know. He just seems like a tortured soul. Like I just want to, yeah, he does. He really does. He looks so sad all the time. All right. I believe this is the last example, and then I'm gonna close out for the night. So, last but not least, we have Zoe Saldana. So Zoe has Juno at the seventh degree of Aquarius in her sixth house. So her reinforcements are seen through having Aquarius on the seventh house cups. And she has Venus and Leo square Chiron in Taurus, which can produce an unusual, unique type of relationship. It can produce a different kind of love. And also, her sun is in the 11th house, which fits that Juno and Aquarius, considering that the sun represents husband. So here's her chart. Here's that Aquarius on the seventh, reinforcing her Juno in Aquarius. But her Juno is in the sixth house, which is more so pointing to like a partner who's also a helpmate and someone who she could work alongside with, like doing projects together and all that. Now, her husband, I believe her husband is part of the LGBTQ community. So remember, I said Juno and Aquarius can produce those type of relationships. And he just strikes me as a man who is bisexual and where he's very comfortable with being bisexual. And I think she knows he's bisexual and she's okay with it. So they definitely have a different kind of love. Zoe Saldana and Marco Perego have a unique relationship. So I think I got this from people.com. So the first sentence about their marriage is this: Zoe Saldana and Marco Perego have a unique relationship. That's very Juno in Aquarius. That's also Aquarius on the seventh house cups. Yes, they have a very unique relationship. And these journalists, these people that write these articles, they know what's going on. So they're being very snarky by saying that they got a unique relationship. But they do in other ways beyond him being bisexual. Now, they haven't come out and said that he's bisexual, but when you look at some of these pictures, you'll see what I mean. You can kind of see it here. Now, the couple were first romantically linked in May 2013. They fell in love quickly and had a private wedding in a few months later, which they confirmed to People in September 2013. Saldana was instantly attracted to Perego. That's very Aquarius. So that is her Aquarius on the 7th, because that Aquarius energy can produce magnetic attraction. And that's also her Juno in Aquarius. So being instantly attracted to Perego. The two met in 2013 on a flight. That's Juno in Aquarius. Because Aquarius rules aircraft, airplanes. So they met on a flight to New York and sparks flew before she even saw his face. I just saw him from behind. It was 6:30 in the morning. She must have saw the way he was switching. I was on a flight to New York, she told USA Today in 2015, and I can't even describe to you. It was a vibration. Saying it was a vibration, that's very Aquarian. He turned in that moment because he felt the vibration as well. Very Juno in Aquarius. Look at him here. Yeah, he definitely likes his bread butter on both sides. Now, in an interview with In Style, Saldana revealed that Perego took her last name after they married. So, yes, they're in a very Juno and Aquarius type of marriage. So, him taking her last name, that's very unique. That's very different. Though she initially tried to talk him out of it. So, it was his idea to take on her last name. And I'm like, is he with her for money? Like, what's going on? You see how he got his leg crossed? He looking more feminine than she is right here. Now, she said, I told him, if you use my name, you're going to be emasculated by your community of artists, by your Latin community of men, by the world, she recalled. But Marco looks up at me and says, she puts on his Italian accent, Ah, Zoe, I don't give a shit. She continued, why is it so surprising, shocking, that's Juno in Aquarius, eventful that a man would take his wife's surname? Women have never been asked if it's okay for them to give up their names. Why doesn't that make the news? Men, you will not cease to exist by taking your partner's surname. But she was talking about they gonna clown you in the beginning. Now she talking about, oh, it's nothing wrong with it. Now, on the contrary, you'll be remembered as a man who stood by change. I know our sons will respect and admire their father more because their father led by example. And he like, that's right, girlfriend. And I chose this picture because she has on this dress that is inspired by a peacock. That's very Juno. So Saldana wore a peacock-inspired Dolce and Gabbana dress with a long train of colorful feathers to the 2016 Met Gala. So that's very Juno. I just put that in there. Now, Perego officially became a U.S. citizen in July 2016, which Saldana commemorated on Instagram. I was like, did he marry her to get a green card or what? What's going on here? But they do have children together. Now, she said, on our way to be sworn in as a U.S. citizen, Saldana wrote, Marco has been dreaming about this moment for a long time. It was a process, as it should be, but we are finally here. Again, I'm like, did he marry her for a green card? What's going on? Remember, I said Juno and Aquarius can produce relationships of convenience. Okay, check out this next picture. Look at the ensemble he has on. And yes, People magazine called it an ensemble. So she's very proud of her gender fluid man. And when you're a Gemini woman, you could get with a man that is very comfortable expressing both the feminine and masculine side of his nature. But yeah, this picture says it all if you ask me. We already know who is piping who down in this relationship. Unless she wants another kid, then he'll do the work. But we already know what's going on. Alex said he's a very interesting character, isn't he? Now, here's their take on parenting. So when you look at parenting, the whole thing about matriarchy and patriarchy and daddy's little girl and mama's boys, my husband and I find that completely ludicrous, she said. Saldana added that to combat this worldview, they are raising their kids in a very gender fluid environment. There it is right there, where they as parents don't take on any particular role. So that means he's walking around the house with a bonnet on and a pink bathrobe and slippers, the fuzzy slippers and shit. He wearing, little lingerie around the house. That's basically what she's getting at. Yup. She got the strap on. During a joint appearance on the Drew Barrymore show, the couple gushed about their love and revealed that they used to refer to sex around the house as playing Legos naked until their kids caught on. I'm like, what the hell? That's kind of perverted. Like, why would you even say that in front of your kids, playing Legos? Come on, we're gonna go play Legos naked. We'll be back, kids. That's like really weird and kind of perv, which is so Juno and Aquarius. The nakedness, Juno and Aquarius. They probably are walking around naked in front of their kids all the time. They probably are like kind of weird parents like that. Now, let's get into this colorism issue with Zoe Saldana. And isn't it interesting that we have two Latinas as examples? The first one was Erica Mena. Erica Mena, Dominican and Puerto Rican. Now we got Zoe Saldana. Zoe is Dominican and Puerto Rican. And what did I say? That colorism runs rampant in the Latino community. Now, I'm not saying she's a colorist. I don't think she is, but there was, issues involving colorists that came up when she played Nina Simone in the Nina Simone biopic. So Zoe Saldana has apologized for playing Nina Simone in the 2016 biopic Nina, a casting that drew criticism from the late singer's estate. I should have never played Nina, she said in an interview on Instagram with Stephen Canals, creator of the TV show Pose. I'm so sorry. I know better today, and I'm never going to do that again. They made her look ridiculous with that makeup. She's one of our giants, and someone else should step up. Somebody else should tell her story. Saldana is of Dominican and Puerto Rican descent and used skin darkening makeup when playing Simone, as well as a prosthetic nose. Yeah, why didn't they just get another woman like India Ari that looked more like Nina Simone to play that role? Instead, they chose Zoe Saldana. And yeah, why did she even agree to that? Why? Because she was all concerned about the clout she would get and the money. And you see how that shit fell through. But at least she apologized. So this headline says Zoe Saldana sparks backlash as her blackface movie controversy resurfaces online. In 2012, when the casting was announced, the singer's daughter, damn, it was 2012, that was a while ago. The singer's daughter, Lisa Simone Kelly, praised Saldana's acting but said, appearance wise, this is not the best choice. So even her, Nina Simone's daughter came out and saying this wasn't a good choice. She called for actors with beautiful, luscious lips and wide noses to play her mother. In 2016, the official Twitter account run by Simone's estate told Saldana, please take Nina's name out your mouth for the rest of your life. Now, I feel like that wasn't called for, but damn. But yeah, that concludes my video on Juno and Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it to be enlightening. And again, consider taking the workshop that I'm going to be hosting this Sunday, August 10th. It's going to take place at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be about the dark side of Leo, narcissism in particular. I'll be doing a reading, a highly requested reading about a dark-sided Leo narcissist. And again, this person is so toxic that I don't feel comfortable presenting this on YouTube, so it will be behind a paywall. I have the link to the Eventbrite site where you could purchase tickets to this workshop in the description section of this video. So definitely consider joining me for that workshop because I'm going to be going in. I'm going to be going hard on this individual because they definitely deserve it. And it's kind of personal, actually. I kind of have a personal vendetta against this person, so I'll explain during the workshop. But you definitely don't want to miss this because, like I said, this person is a hot topic right now. A lot of YouTubers are talking about this person, but because they can be very petty and they'll go after certain YouTubers, I don't feel comfortable discussing it on YouTube. So yeah, consider taking this workshop. Again, it's taking place this Sunday. I'm sorry for the short notice, but I'm dealing with some time constraints, so I have to get it out this Sunday. But yeah, the link is in the description section. If you would like a reading, you can go to my website. The link is in the description section as well. I offer readings via phone, video, written reports, anything you want to know, anything you need help with in terms of making major decisions. I'm here for you. So purchase a reading if you need some help. I just want to shout out my Diggable Planets, my moderators, my patrons, all my Leos. Shout out to y'all. Happy birthday to y'all. And I will be doing a Leo live stream next week. And like I said, anybody that have any stories dealing with Leo, especially nightmare Leo stories, please consider joining me for the Leo live stream. I'll bring you onto Zoom so you can share your story so that we can have a lot of fun and laughs. All right. Thank you so much, Jupiter. Hey, Jupiter. But thank you, everybody, for staying up with me late. I will see, hopefully, I'll see a number of y'all in my workshop this Sunday. And until then, y'all stay cool. Love y'all. I'll be back soon with some more sponsor videos and also that Leo live stream. Thanks, cool.